Hey berries, welcome to a special preview of the new champion that's going to be released. A new support enchanter. I say she's enchanter, but she's actually kind of like a hybrid, more along the lines of like Karma. Her name is called Renata, and she will be on patch 12.4. So she's coming out super soon, mid-February time. And she should be on the PvE soon. So we're going to do some gameplay content of her very soon. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and you'll get to see some Renata gameplay real soon. As you can see behind me, this is her vanilla splash art. So this is what she will be on release. And then this will be her skin. It's she's kind of like an older champion by the looks of it. She looks like she's around about 50, 60 years old. So it's quite unusual for League, at least. We don't have too many I want to say elderly champions, because most people watching this are probably in their early 20s or something. But we've got some champions like Swain and Zillion in the support role, so old champions aren't exactly too unfamiliar to the bot lane. But it's nice to see a non overly crazy uwu kind of style champion. So it's nice to have something slightly different. I have video footage here of her abilities, and I've got an official Riot ability rundown of this. So we'll go through it all, and we'll do some slight comparisons to some champions that are already in the game. So first, we're going to be looking at her passive. So her passive is fairly basic. It's called Leverage. Renata's basic attack marks her enemies and deals bonus damage. Damage from Renata's allies consume the mark, dealing additional damage. So that is basically all like Imperial Mandate without their movement speed factor. So she's got like I don't know, obviously we have no idea how strong these things are, but she's got an Imperial Mandate in her kit as a passive. We don't know on cooldowns or damage, like I just mentioned, so unfortunately I can't give you that information right now. But this is just a quick rundown of what is to be expected. So next we're going to go over to her Q, which is called Handshake. So this is on her Q, and you can imagine like a lot of other hook champions essentially have their abilities on Q, like Thresh, Nautilus, Blitzcrank. This looks like a projectile which comes out and would presumably get blocked by minions by the looks of things. But Renata sends out a missile from her robotic arm that roots the first enemy hit. She can reactivate the ability to throw the enemy in a target direction, damaging enemies hit and stunning them if the thrown target is a champion. So the thrown distance doesn't look massive. I'm assuming you can throw them towards you as well in any direction rather than just pushing them back. From looking at her other kit, I'm not sure if this is something that you're going to be maxing, but it's like a nice little utility tool. But the rest of her kit is kind of crazy, and we're going to go into her W now. So get ready for this one. We have, it's called Bailout. Okay, get ready. We've got some action stuff going on here. So Renata grants an allied champion or herself ramping attack speed and movement speed towards enemies. So that's already a little bit like Lulu without the requirement of having to go towards an enemy champion. Now, here's the crazy bit. If the ally gets a takedown on an enemy champion, the buff duration resets. Hold on, gets crazier. If the ally would die while Bailout is still active, their health is set back to full, but they begin burning to death over 3 seconds. The ally can stop the burn by getting a champion takedown before they die. I don't know how balanced that's going to be. That sounds absolutely mental, honestly. But yeah, I don't know what per point is going to happen. So they've got no information on what it gets per point. I'm assuming they get more attack speed, maybe more movement speed as well. Yeah, pretty mental, don't you think? Basically, you get to survive guaranteed an extra 3 seconds longer, and if you get a kill, or a takedown even, doesn't even have to be the killing blow, they get to basically stay alive. So, yeah, I don't know, seems nuts to me. And that's not even the whole of her kit. So we've got her E next, which is called a loyalty program. So loyalty program is, the best way I can explain this one is it looks a lot like Luck Shield. So Renata sends out Chemtech rockets that shield allies and damage and slow enemies they pass through. The rockets also apply their effects around her on cast and in an explosion at max range. So it's kind of like, the hitbox is kind of like Rel's stun. Shields allies, damages and slows enemies. So it's basically Luck's Shield 2.0 really, honestly. Kind of mental. Yeah, I don't know, this champion honestly already seems busted and we haven't even talked about her ulti yet. So, I mean, obviously they can attune and adjust values and stuff like that, but yeah, she also seems to get a shield herself when she casts this. And, you know, there's a massive circle around her on cast and on the target spot as well. So, in the middle of a team fight, you could be affecting assassins near yourself and still affecting enemy champions at, like, semi-range. So, yeah, we'll have to see about that one. This ability could be the one that you max as support. And then we're going to have a look at our ulti, which is called Hostile Takeover. Renata sends out a cloud of chemicals that cause enemies to go berserk, increasing their attack speed and forcing them to attack anything around them. Berserk enemies prioritize attacking their own allies, then neutral units, then Renata's team, and then Renata herself. So in this example, you can see Caitlyn and Camille are on the same team. You ult them and then they start hitting each other. The Camille kills the Caitlyn, and then because the Camille has nothing else to target, she then goes over to Renata. But if there was like lane minions, the Camille would then instead attack the minions. Yeah, it seems pretty crazy. If you look at the animation on this, it kind of looks like Seraphine R, but 3 times the width, and round about the same projectile speed. So it shouldn't be honestly too hard to hit. And in a big team fight, you should be affecting the majority of the enemy team. So that's going to disorient 8 people like crazy. And you know, if you're up against a team that has a lot of strong auto attackers, like the basic ones I can think of really, like Master Yi for example, then you know, they're going to be spinning around, because if they're popping the movement speed, they're going to spin right back around and start attacking their own teammates. So yeah, huge amount of potential crowd control here, and a lot of potential value in terms of getting kills as well. It's a very strange ult. I'm assuming you could probably cleanse out of this. QSS will most definitely work, I would hope. But yeah, just the width on that ulti just looks really huge, and I'm kind of surprised it's that big. So we'll have to see when she's actually in game and how she plays out and the values, but she doesn't seem like she's going to be overall doing too much damage. She's going to be relying on her allies still to, you know, follow up and make use out of the bailout, the attack speed, movement speed, and the shields and the slows. So she's going to still be relying on her team to finish that, and her passive is basically the Imperial Mandate, and you need an ally to pop that off. So a lot of team reliance still, so I don't think she'll necessarily be played in a solo lane. It looks like it's pretty well suited in her kit for support, so we shouldn't be expecting too fancy stuff. One thing I want to note about this champion is that she's not overly like active in her animations. It's all to do with that purple flying drone thing that she has, apart from her Q, which seems to be coming from, I'll just show that, it seems to be coming from her arm itself. That's like the only kind of animation that she has where it's more she is like more involved in the cast, which I find super interesting, because I know they're adding Silco to TFT, and he's not meant to be, I don't know anything about it, but he's not meant to be fighting from what I've heard from the Riot teaser stuff. So maybe something similar here as well is happening, with the mechanical things are fighting for the champion, as opposed to like the champion like properly fighting, if that makes sense. But I hope you guys enjoyed that, and we'll be covering Renata, you know, throughout the coming weeks, later on today there will be a tier list. Won't include Renata because she won't be released for this next patch. But I hope you guys enjoy that. And see you on the rift real soon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.